Hi friends, welcome. My name is Michelle, if we don't know each other. This is the fluid hatha practice. Today, focused on perspective. I was listening to a podcast with Sonia Renee Taylor the other day, and she was talking about how sometimes when we feel like we're kind of caught in a cycle, right? We're just like going round and round the same pattern. And she said, if you feel that way, if you feel when you get to a place like, oh, here we go again, I've been here before, then you're not in a circle. You're coming up and out in a spiral. Yeah, because you have this perspective to be able to see, to be able to say, oh, I've been here before. That means you have this like broader perspective than you did before, right? Because you're kind of able to see it. And I love that idea that just even that is a shift in perspective to like change the language in your mind, right? I'm not just going round and round, but gaining perspective each time, getting a broader lens. Yeah, and maybe getting a little bit higher in my understanding as well. So I wanted to offer that to you, and also just to reflect that in our movement a little bit. So this is a practice where we'll move around the mat, and I always like to warn you when that's going to happen. So we'll face sort of all sides of the mat, and that said, it can be really helpful to have a block or something like it in this practice. So put one at the front of the mat and one at the back of the mat. Cool. We'll start with some resonance today, and then stillness and movement back to stillness and resonance at the end. Cool? I'm going to presume you said yes. So here we go. Find yourself in a supported seat or a supported shape. You're always welcome to join in these practices, or to just let it move through you. Asato ma satgamaya timaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amritam gamaya. Om Asato ma satgamaya timaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amritam gamaya. Om Asato ma satgamaya timaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amritam gamaya. Opportunity now to amplify the resonance between us with the sound of Om together. First, find a full breath in and release that breath. And then toward Om, once more, breath in. Let that resonance stay with you. Let it stay in your breath, even in your body, with intention. As you move now toward a tabletop shape, hands and knees find the earth, root into it, so that you feel supported in our travels today. Hug in toward the center line of your body. That hugs your belly up toward your spine, makes space between your shoulder blades. Also hug in a bit between your arms and legs so that that space feels supported. Find a full body inhale, like you could breathe in through your hands and feet up to the back of your lungs, extend your spine, and then stay open and spacious as you exhale all the way to the bottom of your breath. And use that next inhale to lift through your tail, lift through the back of your heart, the back of your skull. And exhale, press into the earth, round your spine, lifting your belly, drawing your tailbone and your chin toward each other. Just once more like that, a full breath in to expand the front line of your body as much as feels good. And a full breath out to expand along the back line of your body. Tuck your toes, stretch your feet. Then this next breath, keep the hug in through your arms and legs, but draw your tail back until your knees lift, your hips lift to the sky. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Just be here a moment. Be with this intention of perspective, yeah? The sense that already you're upside down, your relationship to gravity, relationship to the space around you is different than during the rest of the day. Probably, I guess it depends on your day. So be here a moment, see what you notice, see what how your breath moves, how your body wants to move or not. And kind of stay with that curiosity. As you then lift through your hips till your heels lift, and then walk your feet forward slowly, like there's a little stretch with each step, toward the top of the mat, Uttanasana, forward fold. Hang over your legs, bend your knees as much as you like, but try to keep your shoulders away from your ears so you still feel spacious and open along your spine and in your chest cavity. Press down through your feet, like you could drink a breath from the earth up into your center, some strength into your belly as you begin to lengthen your spine. Fingertips could come to the earth or to your shins, lengthen, Ardha Uttanasana. Then fold back down. Just that again. We're going to stay low to start. Press through your feet, lift your belly to lengthen, grow your spine. Fold it back down. Push now more through your right foot so you could step your left toes toward the back of the mat. And let your back knee touch down. Just as we did in the tabletop shape, find this hugging in as well as rooting down. Push through your right foot so that your fingertips get lighter. And maybe you could find a little more space between your collarbones. You could draw forward a bit more through the heart space. So not through your chin, right? Stay long at the back of your neck, but through your crown, a breath in. Use an exhale to pull back through your hips to extend your right leg toward a half split shape, Ardha Hanumanasana. And I like to let my fingertips move with me so they stay sort of under my shoulders. You could do that too if that feels good. And as you're here, again, press down into the earth through your back foot. lengthen your spine, almost like that halfway lift. A little strength from the center, lengthening. Keep the length and that spaciousness as you exhale. With an inhale, draw forward, press down through your right foot. Again, this time to lift your hands off the earth and reach tall, Anjaneyasana. The same feeling as before, that hugging in and down to allow you to reach up and out. Hug in and up so much, it almost feels like you're taking some weight out of your legs. Then gonna kickstand your left foot, that's the back one, across to the right a bit. So you kind of have to come out of the lunge for a moment to kickstand that foot over. Lunge a little deeper into your right foot, right leg. It's like warrior two, but on your back knee, yeah? So give some more weight, pour some weight into your right foot, allow your arms to reach forward and back. Hug in through your legs and out through your fingertips. Soften your shoulders, allow yourself to breathe as freely as you can. Bring your right elbow toward your right thigh. Keep the length though between your right hip and your right armpit. As you lean a bit forward, reach your left arm just straight out from your shoulder at first. Yeah. Then turn your pinky forward and reach your left arm along your left ear. So this is like our side angle shape, but on the knee. So keeping your shoulders away from your ears, take a breath in. Breath out. Push through this right foot to release back through this warrior two shape. Push through your right foot to extend your right leg. Reach your left fingers down toward the floor. So looking toward the floor. And again, you have a block back here, probably. So feel free to use that. You'll want to maybe adjust the placement of your left foot so that your knee is comfortable. Hug in through your legs, expand out across your fingers, across your whole wingspan. Find a breath in. As before, turn your pinky forward, reach your right arm along your right ear, roll your right ribs back. Then keep all this length, keep reaching your right fingertips, but turn yourself toward the back of the mat. So you're gonna pivot on, like lift your back, your right heel, pivot on this left knee one more time. Bring your right hand down to the earth, toward the back of the mat. Press through your hands, tuck your toes behind you, and lift back, downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Breathe. Now we're returning to this shape we were in just a few minutes ago. But just notice if anything feels different. If anything feels more spacious or strong or engaged, or if you just feel a little more or less upside down. Breathing here. Notice if when you hug in through your arm bones toward each other, does that make more space between your shoulder blades, more space at the back of your lungs? And if so, keep that. Soften your knees a little. Lift through your hips and your heels. Draw your right knee toward your nose, any amount, around your spine. Shift forward a bit so you can sneak your right ankle over your left thigh. We're going to make a figure four shape here. Pull back through your hips. You may need to bend your left knee a little or a lot. But again, hug in and down through your arms to pull back through your hips. Breath in. Breath out. Lift through your hips, look forward and step your right foot toward your right hand. Stay low here, but you might lift up onto your fingertips so you have a little more space. As you again pull your heart forward, pull the crown of your head, not your chin, forward, but you're pulling your tail and your left heel back, so taking up a lot of space. Find one more breath in here. As you exhale, just as we did earlier with the knee down, pull back through your hips to straighten this right leg any amount, a little or a lot. And again, you could walk your hands back behind your or underneath your shoulders. The back heel is lifted. Pour some weight forward, lengthening your spine, and then soften into that space. Pour your weight forward, re-bend your right knee. Rise toward crescent lunge. Push through your right foot. Bring your arms to the sky. Same as we did earlier with the knee down. Hug in and down through your right foot to lift through your thumbs, through the back of your waist. Breath in here. Then spin your back heel down. You're opening your hips to the left and finding warrior two. So it's the same as we were to the front of the mat. We're just up a bit higher, right? Breath in, hug in. Exhale, expand out. Get strong through your back leg, rooted through your back foot, just as much as the front. Now, again, notice the space between your right hip and your right armpit. I'm going to keep that space the same as you tip forward, right elbow toward your right thigh. You're extending your left arm straight out from your left shoulder. Get strong in your left arm, strong in your left leg. Then turn your pinky forward, draw your arm along your ear. But again, keep drawing your right hip back so you've got length along the side. Keep drawing your shoulders away from your ears. Find a breath. Hug in and down through your feet to release back through warrior two. Extend your right leg, reach your right arm up, and a little bit of a lean back. Get tall. Again, turn all of your toes to the left side of the mat. Then bend your right knee. Helps to either bring both hands to heart center or both our hands out wide. Skandasana. Then shift your weight left leg bends. Skandasana. Turn yourself toward the front of the mat, both hands down to the earth. Drop your back knee down. And we're back at the beginning, about to move to the left. So again, hug in through both legs and down through your left foot. Peel your heart forward. Lengthen for at least a breath. Use an exhale, any exhale to draw back through your hips, extending your left leg. Let your hands walk back under your shoulders if you like. Feel the lift through your belly to lengthen your spine. Soften into the shape. Draw forward again, bending your left knee. Hug in and press down through your left foot to lift arms up off the earth, Anjaneyasana. Draw your tail down, maybe a little bit forward. Hug in and up through the back of your waist. And then come out of your lunge a bit to pivot your right foot a little to the left, opening your hips to the right as you come into this sort of half warrior two, I usually call it, because it's warrior two, but on your knee, Virabhadrasana. Hug in through your legs. And even like you're hugging your arm bones into the sockets, but then reach out through your fingertips and long through your spine. Feel your whole body breathe. Notice that space between your left armpit and your left hip, and keep that space as you hinge forward, left elbow toward your left thigh. Right arm reaches straight out from your shoulder. Already sort of rolling your right ribs back. Draw your right arm along your right ear. Shoulders draw away from your ears. And all of that is just so you've got space to breathe. Press down through your left foot to rise back through this half warrior two shape. Press through your left foot to extend your left leg. Look toward the back of the mat. Bring your right hand down to earth. And again, for me, I like to adjust, kind of pivot my right foot a little bit more so that it feels safe and supported in my knee. Press through your left foot, get long as you can, then turn your left pinky forward, reach your left arm along your ear. You could use your block for this, right? Your hand could be on your block, or maybe you're up on your fingertips. That feels best to me. Full body breath. Breathe along the length. And then keep the length, keep your left arm and leg extended, but turn now toward the back of the mat. Again, you're sort of pivoting on your knee. Lift your back heel. Both hands down to the mat. Hug in. Press down to lift up and back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Downward facing dog. Breathe here. Sometimes it feels silly to remind you to breathe, right? Because it's this involuntary thing that your body's going to do. And I find that sometimes when we're really focused on this physical practice, we just sort of forget to pay attention to breath. So I'm just bringing your attention there. Again here, hug in and down through your hands. Lift through your hips till your heels want to lift. Then from that lift, round your left knee in toward your nose. Hug in first. Round as much as you can. Shift forward until you can sneak your left heel over your right thigh. Then draw your left knee wide, that figure four shape, draw back. Again, bend your right knee as much as you need to feel comfortable and supported here. Comfortable-ish, right? Relatively. Hug in still through your arm bones. That's going to help support you. One more breath in, pull back. Lift through your hips and through that right heel to step forward, your left toes toward your left hand. Stay low, but give yourself space under your torso. Draw back through your left hip, back through your right heel, forward through the crown of your head. The back of your skull almost is pulling forward. Use an exhale to lift through your hips, draw, extend your left leg any amount. Back heel is lifted, draw your heart forward, lengthen. Stay long, but soften in it a bit. Stay forward, rebend your left leg, hug in and down to lift your fingertips off the earth. Crescent lunge, Anjaneyasana. Hug in to lift up. Press down to expand out. And then again, we move toward warrior two, Virabhadrasana, the second. Spin your back heel down. Open up across your wingspan. Find the hug in, the expansion outward in equal parts. Breathe. Keep the space between your left hip and your left armpit. As you hinge forward, left elbow toward your left thigh. Reach long along this whole right side of your body. Keep that, maybe even extend it. As you turn your right pinky forward, reach your right arm along your ear. There's space along the sides of your body to breathe. Space along your chest, between your ears and your shoulders. Also, breathe here. Roll your right ribs back, stay open. Press through both feet to take the weight out of your left arm. Rise back through warrior two. Then press down, extend your left leg. Turn all your toes to the right. Bend your left knee. Arms wide. Or if you're bringing hands to heart center, really press them into each other. Let that open across your chest. Then shift your weight. Right knee bends, Skandasana. Turn to the back of the mat, the front of the mat now. Both hands come down to the earth. Bring your weight forward and step forward. Uttanasana, forward fold. Again, we've been here before, but there's been a lot of experience in between. In the last few minutes, we've been in a lot of other shapes. So just see how it feels to be here again. Maybe what you've learned or habits that you're building from the other shapes can apply here. Full body breath. Let that breath go. Press through your feet. Inhale again to lengthen your spine from the center. Fold it back down. Bend your knees, come toward chair pose. Press through both feet, lift through your heart space. And again, you're not lifting your chin, right? Because that would cut off your breath. So you're lifting through the crown of your head. Keep your chin steady. Breath in, breath out. Settle back a little extra. Press through your feet all the way to stand now. Down through your feet, up through your fingertips, up through the heart space. Then pour forward again, Uttanasana. Breath in. Breath out. From here, once again, shift your weight right. Step your left toes toward the back of the mat. This time, we're going to rise up right away, so hug in, press down through your right foot, free your hands, and lift them tall, Anjaneyasana, crescent lunge. Again, hug in and down to lift up and out. Find a full breath, like you could breathe through your feet and through your hands. From here, hinge forward, lengthen yourself further. Hinge forward, forward, forward till your left toes could leave the mat. You could bring hands to heart if you need, or you could keep this right knee bent, or press into the earth to extend your right leg. Just here for 2 breaths. Really hug in and extend out. Soften that standing leg a little as you pull your left knee in toward your belly and stand up. Push down through your right foot, up through your fingers, up through the back of your waist. Now imagine, just like in that figure 4 in downward facing dog, you're gonna sneak your left heel. So it's almost like you're lifting your left heel, like you're kicking a soccer ball with your left foot, and rotating from the hip, your left knee out to the left. Then cross left ankle over your right knee, sit low. Figure 4. Sometimes we call this Ardha Utkatasana, half chair. So sit back like you're in the chair pose, maybe even deeper than in your chair because you got more freedom in your hips. Press your palms together to broaden at the chest. Relax your shoulders down to lengthen your neck. Breath in. Breath out. Push into your right foot to stand. Keep this left knee out to the left. Your left toes out to the left as you extend your left heel forward. As you sweep your left leg back, we're finding warrior 2. Bend your right knee, land your back toes, and open up. Yeah, so this orientation of the left leg, your left knee, your left toes are kind of tracking toward the outside of your mat instead of straight forward. So that has stayed the same. Yeah, from the figure 4, extending forward, and now here. Hug in to extend out. Once again, hinge forward, right arm toward your right thigh. This time, if you like, you can use your block or not to reach your right fingers toward the earth. But if you start to collapse downward, right? If you're collapsed in the right side or turning your left shoulder down toward the mat, it is not worth it to come this low, right? Stay lifted. Only reach your right fingers down if you can keep rolling your left ribs back and keep reaching long. Keep the spaciousness along your right side. In any case, where you are, find another full breath. Keep the hug through your legs. Press down to rise up, warrior two. Press through your right leg to extend. Right toes turn in. Different this time. Heels turn in, toes out toward malasana. So bending both knees. Hug in through your legs and down. Up through your crown and out through your fingers. Reach your left elbow toward your left thigh, and toward might be the word, right? It might not reach. But again, lengthen the right side. Then extend your right leg, turn your right toes in, and turn all the way to the back of the mat. So all your toes turn back, fingertips down. Hug in to step back, downward facing dog. Full body breath in, breath out. Lift through the center, lift through your hips. Draw your right knee in toward your chest. Then your right knee turns out to cross your right ankle over your left thigh. Draw back, that figure four shape. Just a breath this time. Just a little pause. And then shift forward, step forward. Rise again, crescent lunge. Press through your right foot to reach tall. Up and out through the whole back line of your body. Once again, hinge forward. This time, coming all the way to standing split. So pour your weight forward over your right leg to lift the back leg. Just like in the warrior three, plug in through your legs and down through your right foot. Lengthen through your spine. Pour your weight forward. Another breath. Now really have to be strong at the center here. Bending both knees. Hug your left knee in toward your chest. Push through your right foot to stand. Left knee hugs in again. Yeah, we made it. Yeah. And again, as before, sort of like you're kicking a soccer ball with the inside of your left foot. Lift your left heel, extend your left heel forward. Sweep it back to find warrior two. Settle in. Hopefully as we've, come around again and we have more experience, more perspective here, we can settle in a little more easefully. Gonna press down right away, extend your right leg, turn your right toes in, turn your heels in, toes out, bend your knees, malasana. Hug in, expand out. Extend your right leg so the left leg is bent. Then you turn all the way to the front of the mat, both hands down. And here we are on the other side. Hug in and down through your left foot to rise, crescent lunge. Hugging in and down to lift out. Stay open. Maybe even open more along the back line as you hinge forward. Pour your weight forward to lift your right toes. Again, option to keep your left knee bent. Option to draw hands in towards center, but keep pulling back and up through your left hip so the right one stays even. Bend through your left knee. Pull your right knee in toward your belly to stand. Big breath. Keep pulling like you're hugging the space between your ribs and your right thigh. Again, that soccer ball. Begin to hug in and lift through your right heel. Then cross your right ankle over your left thigh. Sit back. That half chair, right? Breath here. Pull back through your hips, forward through your crown. Again, not through your chin. Full breath. Push through your left foot to stand. Keep this orientation of your right knee and toes to the outside as you extend your right foot forward. Then sweep it back, bending your standing leg to land Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Hug in and down, expand out. We're keeping this space along the sides of your body. As you hinge forward, left arm to your left thigh, or you're reaching your left fingertips down to the floor. But again, only if you can stay open. And I know that today on this side, I can't stay open if I go lower. So I'm going to stay here. Sometimes it helps to imagine pressing your right hand into a wall overhead. Press into that and use that as leverage to roll your right ribs back. Where you are, breathe. Press through both feet to rise back through Warrior 2. Press through your left foot to extend your leg. Turn your left toes in. Then heels in, toes out, Malasana. Breathe. Lean to the right elbow toward your right thigh. Extend through the left side, then extend your left leg. Turn your left toes in. Turn to the back of the mat. Both hands come down. Hug in and up through center to step back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Breathe. Again, just that reminder to be aware of your breath and curious. If your whole body was breathing, if your breath could move through that much space, would it move freely? Are there places it would get stuck? And can you adjust alignment to make more space for breath? Lift through your hips, through your heels, around your spine enough to draw your left knee toward your nose. And then cross your left ankle over your right thigh, draw back. Just a breath. Open up from your left hip. Draw forward, hips tall to step forward. Crescent lunge. Press through your left foot to rise. The hug into your legs really helps, but strong through the back leg too. Pour forward. So we're not falling forward, yeah, but pouring your weight forward so much that your back toes get light. And then as you bring your hands toward the earth, your back toes get real light and lift off the earth, yeah. Push down through your left foot. Extend through the right leg. Again, you're lifting up and back through your left hip. Find some freedom along your spine, some breath there. Then bend both knees, pull in through your belly, right knee toward your belly to rise. Lift through your right heel to extend forward. Then sweep back. Warrior 2 is where we land. Settle. Right toward Malasana this time. Extend your left leg, turn your toes in, turn your heels in and bend both knees. Breathe. Then extend. Extend your left leg, turn toward the back of the mat, both hands down to earth. Once again, pour your weight forward. I'm actually going to stay low in this lunge for the first time, or again. And if you haven't placed your blocks, now is a good time to bring one in front of you here and maybe take a moment to bring another one. Otherwise, you can carry one with you to the back of the mat when we move there. From this lunge, shift forward, rise, crescent lunge. Hug in and up, pour forward, warrior three. Hug in through your legs, out long through your spine, long through the center. Draw in through your left knee, in toward your belly. Stand tall. Hug the space between your thigh and your ribs. Instead of extending forward this time, I'm just going to circle back. And on the way to warrior two, find a half moon shape, Ardha Chandrasana. So we'll circle the left knee wide, then start to press your left heel back. Bring your right ribs forward. Yeah, and now you can stay. You don't have to reach for the floor at all, right? You could be flying here, or you might be reaching your right hand down to the mat or your block. But again, if you're turning your left ribs, your left shoulder down, it's not worth it. Yeah, come up higher to roll your left ribs back and open up. Press through both feet equally. Yeah, that'll help too. Stay open. Find 2 full breaths, as long as you can be in your legs, as long as you can be in your spine, as open as you can be at the heart. Rebend your right leg, reach left toes back. Now we're going to go all the way around to warrior two on the other side. Press down through your right foot, extend, reach up, turn your right toes in, turn your left toes out, face the back of the mat, warrior two. Hug in, expand out. Now keep this beautiful space on your left side as you lift your left arm up and reach back. Sorry, on your right side, keep the space. Press through both feet, lift through your heart. Then bring both hands down to the mat, face the back of the mat. Stay low. Yeah. Again, if you don't have a block back here and you want one, grab one now. This is our first half circle instead of full circle. So here we are at the back of the mat. We're going to work our way back the other way. Hug in through your legs and down to lift, crescent lunge. Anjaneyasana gets strong through both legs, long through the spine. Keep that as you hinge forward. Forward so much your back toes lift, warrior three. 2 breaths, open wide, long as you can be. Then soften the standing leg, draw your right knee in toward your belly, but try not to round, stay tall. I'm gonna circle around. Right heel lifts, right knee goes wide, then press your right heel back. Already start rotating your right ribs back, left ribs forward again. You could stay right here. Stay lifted and reach, 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 reach. And or bring your left hand down to the earth, but again, stay open. Press equally through both legs so that you almost don't have any weight. Woo, almost don't have any weight in this left hand. 2 breaths, as big as you can be. Take up space. Bend your standing leg, reach back gently as you can. Warrior two. Settle here first. Then extend your left leg. Left toes turn in, right toes turn out. To the other side, breath in. Breath out. This back leg is strong. This back side is strong as you lift your right arm up and lean back, but stay lifted in the heart. Breath in. Breath out. Both hands back down to earth. Step back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Downward facing dog. Tune back into that full body breath. How freely can your breath move? What could you soften? so that your breath has space. Lift through your hips, through your heels, round your spine forward to draw right knee toward your nose. Cross your right ankle over your left thigh. Again, free to bend your left knee to help. Listen, this time we're going toward half pigeon. So keep the hug in your arm bones. Keep your right knee tracking out to the right as you lift forward. Right knee toward your right wrist. And as you know, always the option, you can either extend your left leg back and find the earth that way, or draw your left knee into your right foot. Walk your right hand back and you'll find this sort of pinwheel shape instead. If you know that Ardha Kapotasana, this half pigeon, is not feeling good in your back. Yeah. Where you are though, once again, hug in through your legs, press down into the floor through this front shin. Draw the left hip forward, lengthen your spine, and then pour forward. So you're, again, not falling forward, but pouring from this length, as if you're only coming down to be further forward. And let your head hang heavy. You might broaden your elbows to soften in your shoulders. But even as you're here, as we're bowing to the earth, as you notice that you're supported and connected, feel also that spaciousness. And as you're connected down through the earth, is there also kind of a longing to connect outward, right? To connect through the earth out to everyone else, everything else. So that even if your head is heavy, there's this reach forward through the heart space that kind of translates through the crown of your head and back through your left toes. Just for these last couple breaths, find that spirit of reaching out to offer, or reaching out for more support of community and interconnection. And you can absolutely keep that in your mind as you walk your hands back in under your shoulders. And find your way back to downward facing dog. So if you're in that pinwheel shape, it might be best to go to a tabletop shape first. If you're in Ardha Kapotasana, you'll press through your hands and lift your hips as we have all these times before to step back. This last downward facing dog for this practice. And I don't know, sometimes it feels like a luxury to know the last time that you're going to do something. So be here. Don't miss it. These last few breaths here. And as you're ready, no rush. Lift your hips, your heels, round the back of your heart forward to draw your left knee toward your nose. So draw your left knee out and cross your ankle over your thigh. Breathe yourself open. Press down to the earth and hug through your arms so you've got that spaciousness. Keep your left knee open as you come forward, left knee toward your left wrist. Find your version of this hip opening. Ardha Kapotasana or Swastikasana, that pinwheel shape. Hug in through your legs and down through this left shin. Draw your right hip forward and down toward the earth. As you lift through your spine, lift up, almost up and over, right? To come forward. And it's really, you're moving forward so much that you get closer to the earth. And don't worry what the shape looks like. Let the shape of your breath be more important. So keep refining your alignment, not to get into a particular external shape, but to make more space for breath and whatever else needs to move through this time. And let your head be close to the earth, supported if necessary. Feel the support of all that came before, all that is under the earth beneath you, holding you up. Feel the space between us as supportive, as holding you together. So that you don't have to put effort to that. Know that you're held, supported, and connected. Maybe you feel that little extra reach, that longing for belonging, longing for connection outside of this bubble. And again, you can keep that intention if you like. As you walk your hands back in, this time, if both knees are bent, keep them there. And if this right leg is long, send your weight to the left so you can pull your right knee in toward your left foot. And then all of us lean back to bring your feet in front of you. Extend your heels forward, but feel free to keep a bend in your knees so that you don't round in your spine, but stay long. Press down through your sitting bones and your heels, lift up through your crown. And again, draw forward to your heart so much that you start to fold over your legs. Any amount. Yeah, keep the length of your spine at first. Almost feels like your chin draws down, your back of your skull reaches forward. And then bend your knees, support yourself as much as you need to so that you can really just fold and like hang over your legs. Yeah, be supported. Maybe that's a pillow under your knees. Maybe that's a pillow or a bolster on top of your thighs, right? Or under your rib cage. Wherever you need support, find it. So that you can really just hang over your legs. Hang your head heavy. Breathe to the back of your lungs. Breathe down along your back into your kidneys. Breathe down into the bowl of your pelvis on the earth. Breathe down through your legs, out through the soles of your feet. Again, just be here. Don't miss it. And as you're ready, re-engage just enough to roll yourself back onto your back. Unless you know that you want to end your practice seated, then you can feel free to stay seated. But we're moving towards stillness, towards Shavasana. So you might keep whatever supportive props you had and just let them be a weight or a blanket on top of you. Of course, if there's any other movement you need, if you want to hug in or twist around, feel free to do that. But we're moving toward stillness. Moving toward this sense of connection, interconnection with everything. Everything that is, everything that came before, everything that will be. We'll come back consciously together in a moment, but for now, allow yourself to just be. When we have these moments in between, these moments of rest, don't miss that either. Present to it. Stay with this awareness. Carry it with you. Know that you're supported, connected. That you're not where you've been before. But at least a little bit above and outside of it. Enough to see where you've been before. Enough to know a little better. To be a little bigger. A little more. Feel free to stay low to the earth or to find your way toward a seat. So we can again just amplify this resonance, this vibration that is between us all the time. Integrate learnings, integrate the heat, the energy. Let it sound like Om. Together, a breath in and a breath out and toward Om. A breath in. With gratitude to all that came before, the roots of this practice, with gratitude to this time together and all we carry forward. From this place of our connection, I bow to you. With grace, with gratitude, and love. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being you and sharing that space. See you soon. Hi, me again. Just wanted to offer as well that if you want to support what we're up to here, liking this video, subscribing to our channel, seem like a small thing to do, and hopefully they are small and easeful thing for you to do, but they really do help us to connect with more people, to offer this practice more freely, more fully with you. So thanks for your support. Thanks for being in this community. Appreciate you.